Welcome everyone to another episode of the Fanspire, and again, this is a big clash involving two of the giants of English football, Chelsea and Manchester United. And not so good on form, Manchester United, but who knows what may happen because somehow Chelsea's sometimes it was there in their DNA to gift points to other teams. But let's see how it goes. So let's just quickly get on our panelists on screen. But before we do that, don't forget to share the video, subscribe to our channel, follow us on social media. We are there on Facebook, Instagram, as well as Twitter. So do follow us and give a shout out there. And then, and yes, here are our fan panelists. Welcome Mohit, welcome Raghav.
Yeah,
How are you all?
yeah, good. How about you?
Hello, thanks for
Yes,
having us on.
yes. Privileged to have two fans of two great English clubs, like I mentioned. But before we talk about the greatness of either of the teams, Mohit, I want to speak about your transition, the club's transition, especially from last January since Thomas Tuchel came in. I mean, I think this must be the most confident. Like every match, you must be like, okay, I know that this could be a good result. Is that am I right about that? That the confidence is sky high right
Yes,
now.
yes, you are. I have never been so confident about Chelsea since Conte in 2017. So that speaks, about most of it. We're so good.
Okay, I think he had some network issues. Uh, Raghav, obviously now not so good with your results. Your manager getting sacked, and
Hello.
are you happy
Did we
with?
have a problem?
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
you left off.
yeah, I'm super happy with everything at Chelsea. So this season and ever since Thomas Tuchel has come in, breath of fresh air. Pura, he he actually this is what happens when you actually get a proper manager who knows what he's doing. That's the difference between these two clubs. I believe Manchester United are as good as us, if not better, on paper. Only difference is we have a world class manager and they don't.
But
So
speaking about managers, I mean, obviously, I come to Raghav on that. We know who Tuchel considers as a mentor, who Klopp considers as a mentor, and that guy might come to United right now because the deal has been agreed with him,
Yeah,
continued with the club. So, Raghav, how do you feel on that appointment? If actually he comes, because there are rumors he'll be there obviously as an interim manager, which he's fine with, and then continue in a consultancy role.
yeah. This is something the most un-Manchester United move Manchester United have made since the
I've heard
Glazers
that
took over.
many times from every Manchester United fan.
Yeah, I genuinely never expected Ralph Ragnick to be available and Glazers to hire them. That's another big step. And yeah, no, we are excited. No, with the way he plays football, the counter pressing, counter attacking, something Old Trafford will genuinely love and support, and and will root for him, I guess. And the 6 months will be a more or less no it miss no there's no much expectation with the fans. Top four and a good Champions League run would be enough. I said to make ourselves a better squad next season under a good manager.
Yeah, and we know how. Sorry. So we know how important managers are. And before we move on to the next question, to our audience who have tuned in, if you have any questions, you can put it in the comments. We'll make sure that Raghav and Mohit answer them for you. Any questions of either of the teams or the league or anything, players specifically, we can get them answered. So don't forget to put your questions in as well. So Mohit, now Ben Chilwell is injured, out for majority of the season, at least for 6 weeks, possibly depending on that, could be out for the season. Do you feel you have the resources right now at the left wing back? I Mohit, you're there? I think Mohit has some network issues. Mohit can't hear you. You're on mute.
I'm speaking, right? You can hear
Yeah,
me,
yeah.
right?
Now, yes, now we can hear you.
Yeah, Ben Chilwell being out is just such a massive blow. And ACL too. I mean, they're saying 6 weeks, but we all know what an ACL is. We all know it's probably going to be 6 months. And worst thing, end of the season. That's what it does. And there is no guarantee that when he's going to be back, he's going to be back at full. The way he's playing right now. He was literally in the form of his life. He was, you can say, top three left backs in the world right now. That's how well Ben Chilwell was playing. And with the current tactical tweak which Tuchel made, which has a lot of emphasis on our wing backs, left wing back and right wing back, Reece James and Chilwell, both have been doing so well because these two are literally playing like inside forward sometimes, sometimes like wing back,
Yeah,
sometimes midfielders. It's so without Ben Chilwell, I don't know what. I know Alonso can attack. He loves to attack. He just attacks in a way. That's all he does. So let's see. But only Alonso, I don't think we can. It'll be tough, but let's see if the club comes up with a solution to this. But this is a massive blow for the team.
yeah, for sure. And but this is a question for both of you all. Like you say, when Mourinho was there, when Conte was there, when Sir Alex Ferguson was there at United, whoever the manager was at Chelsea, when Ferguson was there, like United versus Chelsea was the biggest clash you could hope for, you could watch. Do you think right now the status of this clash has fallen a bit with the likes of Liverpool, City dominating the leagues? Raghav, you want to go first?
I don't think so. I don't think Manchester City attracts as much followers or viewers than Man United. I think Man United, whatever game we play, no matter we play Chelsea or Newcastle United, we will attract always viewers. So I don't think so. No.
I think that's the only thing going for you right now, attracting
Yeah,
viewers.
I agree with him as well. I think Chelsea Man United is a classic, at least India, man. Like the last 20 years, one of the biggest rivalries here, at least, if not in the UK,
Yeah,
because Man United are not Chelsea's top five rivals, nor are Chelsea Man United's top five rivals traditionally. But abroad, because Manchester United have
it's
the
just the
fan base they have,
success which has
uh,
created a rivalry.
yep, yep.
Yeah,
And it's massive. At least in India, it's just massive. We hate them fans, they hate us. That's a rivalry. And it's always going to be bigger than any rivalry Man City can ever have. So let's not put them here.
already a dig at Man City, who are struggling for fans currently. So there was a joke which came out on Man City when Jack really said he had two extra tickets
Yeah,
and
yeah,
just trying hard to sell tickets at Etihad. And
that was quite
anyways,
funny.
yeah. So we have a question for you, Raghav. According to you, if you were in the manager's shoes right now, which is the
Yeah.
best 11 for you?
So for me, right now, I think David De Gea in goal. Aaron Wan-Bissaka at right back. Alex Telles in left back. Maguire and Varane. Varane being injured, and now
Yeah,
Maguire is suspended for this game. So it's gonna be Lindelof and Bailly. Then Fred and McTowney. Then Bruno, Marcus, Sancho, and Ronnie. Yeah,
yeah. Because like obviously Ronaldo has to be there, right? But
yeah,
there are many things going around. But before again, as you can see on your screen, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel because we are covering not only the Premier League, many other leagues along with women's football. There are many women's football videos already out on our channel, so do give them a view. So obviously, you're speaking of Ronaldo right now. There are some things where people are faulting him that since last season he's the only thing which has changed, and United is not the same anymore. Do you think it is justified?
I don't think so. He's played some 13 games and scored 10 goals. You can't blame the man. If there is any problem, then it must be Harry Maguire and Luke Shaw and Fred McTowney. Them dropping their standards and them not even playing 6 out of 10
Is Fred
games.
in your best 11? You mentioned Fred and McTominay. Do you think Fred is in your best 11?
I think so. The way he works for the team off the ball. When you have someone like Ronaldo, then you need a player like Fred who's gonna press. his presence was the reason why we scored the goal against Villarreal this week. So Fred takes his place. Many
But
people will be surprised.
correct. But do you think still Fred is not up to it? He's not living up to the hype as such?
Yeah, no one.
Because the way he was announced, it felt like he's the next Patrick Vieira or Claude Makelele.
No,
And
at the time, 50 million for Fred. No, snatching off from Manchester City. No, it was always gonna go one way, and sadly, it went south for us. But I think he played well under Oli in certain games. You know, when we went to Etihad, he always put in a man of the match performance. Him and McTominay are the two best midfielders that we have, and that's our standards. You know, we don't have Nema Matic. Van der Beek, don't, I don't think he's best there. Yeah, I think even many people would be surprised, but when Ragnick comes in, he's gonna pick Fred and McTominay. That's for sure.
okay, you seem very confident on that. I mean, I think speaking about, traditional DMs, I don't think the Mohit has any problem over there. I mean, unfortunately, Kante is injured as well, but you have uh, Jorginho in, you have Saul in, you have
Yeah, we
Loftus Cheek, a tank over there as well. So,
Yeah, the odd thing with us is we don't play DMs, the traditional, defensive. We play
correct.
like in Tuchel's words, the two number sixes
Sixes,
who
yeah.
work together. They transition defense from attack. They make sure the team's shape is compact. Because if you see Chelsea, even in attack, the entire team is together. The spaces are less, in Pep's words, so close, and then so wide with the wing backs. So these two just make sure everyone is close together, nice and compact. Shape is there, and Jorginho, you know what he does: spraying his passes, making all the
Okay, I think again he is he there?
available. Well, yeah, whenever Kovacic is
Yeah.
available, he always makes sure that he dribbles past players. Loftus Cheek, we all know just what he did against Juventus. Literally tore
Yeah.
the entire Juventus defense down and made that pass to Hudson-Odoi who scored. So, yep. So far, we I don't think we have any issues in midfield. It's just blessed to have so many. And then Saul is also there. Like I don't know about that. Honestly, he hasn't been. But he's unknown anyway. So we'll see.
Yeah. And what realistically, if you see what was your objective as a fan before the start of the season when the first six fixtures came out? What was your
Oh,
expectation from the
before,
team?
to be honest, I thought Chelsea would drop off. I thought it was the same squad that was 10th with Lampard. I thought that Chelsea thing will come back. Champions League we won, and now it's time to have a hangover because we that's what Chelsea do after winning a major trophy. They die for 6 months and then someone has to wake him up. It could be a manager's happen. This is what happened at Chelsea, and surprisingly
Yeah.
that didn't happen.
Yeah.
And
And now where do you
we're
see your
still
team going? Now where do you see your team going?
Yeah, if Chilwell was there, I would say we could go all the way and win the league. But now since Chilwell's gone, and if he's gone for the end of the season, yeah, there's our league title gone because I think we can't do it without such an important player. He's one of the most the wing back, two wing backs are the most important right now, and without both of them, we can't. So
Yeah.
let's hope. Let's see how good Alonso can do. Hopefully, we can still challenge for the title, if not win it. And good Champions League run deep and a good FA Cup. We're Chelsea. We want to win trophies every season. So that would be a decent enough season.
Yeah. Raga, the same question for you. Like before the start of the season and now, what do you think your expectations would be?
Yeah, before the start of season, I wanted Man United to challenge for the league and have a very good Champions League run. You know, we haven't been uh, playing well in Champions League since 2011, and so yeah, and the FA Cup wouldn't mind. We are already out of League Cup, so yeah, FA Cup. If we win FA Cup, that would be huge for Ragnick. You know, that's also a kind of a pressure reliever for a new manager because we haven't won a trophy since 2017, and that daunted Oli for a
Yeah.
lot of time. So you know, if Ragnick wins something this season, that's gonna ease some pressure for the next manager to come in. So yeah,
Uh, Clivert says your team is still strong man without Chile as well. I mean, Yeah, on paper, I think it
Probably doesn't
is.
watch us play. On paper it is, but the way we play right now, we don't have an out and out goal scorer. Lukaku is supposed to be that.
But to
Let's
be
see if he
fair,
can.
to
If
be
he
fair,
can, then
yeah, Alonso can score. And to be fair, if you see the first six fixtures where Chilwell hardly played a part, it was Alonso against the big clubs, the big matches who stood up. So I think
yeah,
maybe
Alonso definitely can score. He can score. He's one. He's actually the top three finishers in this club. I'm telling you now, he's one of the best out there to finish. If he gets a chance in the box, he'll probably take it. He can do that. But what he
maybe we
can't
need
do
a
is what
striker.
Chilwell does. They have discipline, listen to what the manager says. These two wing backs inverted, they play, they fall back together, they come up together. It's so fascinating the way Chelsea play right now with
Yeah,
the two wing backs. So will Alonso actually listen to the manager itself is a huge doubt. He's had issues with each and every single manager who has been here, even with Conte in his second season. So you don't trust that guy who's had so many issues. But yeah, if you put like if he gets a shot on goal, he'll score. If he gets a good free kick, he'll score. So no worries about that.
yeah. So, Raghav, we have a question for you from Sneden Di Mello. Does Ronaldo's lack of pressing hurt United? Because
I
this
don't.
is the thing which everyone has been speaking of, the lack of press, and we saw against Villarreal the first half as well. United were very poor. Passes were going through the center easily, no press at all. Do you think this is the reason why Ronaldo has been criticized?
I don't think so. We under Sir Alex or under Mourinho or under Van Gaal, we weren't pressing side, and under Oli we had Martial, Rashford, and Greenwood. So three of them young, so they could press high. But with Ronaldo, I think he's scoring goals for fun now. 10 goals in 13 appearances is very good in my opinion. Even Lukaku hasn't scored that much for Chelsea. So I don't think so. The problem with United right now is Harry Maguire and Luke Shaw, Fred McTominay, them not putting in performance that they did last season, and that cost Oli the job. That's the only problem I can see. I don't. People blaming Ronaldo is just to get their 5 seconds of fame, I guess.
Yeah, sorry, I saw Chinmay and I forgot that I was on mute. But we have our everlasting United fan Chinmay back on Fanspire. I think it was a long break. Chinmay, wrong time to be on the Fanspire, I think.
No, no, no. I think, I mean, the last time I came, I was hopeful for a title challenge, in August. And, Ole's gone and we have a new interim manager. Um, Wrong time, I would say last 1 or 2 months been very, very bad being a United fan. But you look at the team and if you have a good manager in, if you have someone who can take that extra step, this team can actually, go on and still win something. You have a look in the Champions League, we've only led for 84 or 85 minutes in the group, in the whole, Champions League campaign so far. And we're still top of the group and we've qualified. So the team is quite good. I mean, if we do get the right amount of tactics in, and let's hope we have Chelsea next. Beneath.
I mean, obviously, right now on screen, it's like the right side is the Chelsea, left side is United. I mean, more just for information, I'm a Chelsea fan as well, and I've made it pretty clear for everyone.
You made a
So
good decision.
I think I
Your
did. I
parents
did.
raised you well.
I I don't know if it was my parents, but I think yeah, I've been raised well to support Chelsea. Anyway, so let's continue on to the discussion. So now that we have like a 2v2 situation over here, I'll just be asking a few quick questions to all three of y'all related to your clubs as well. Only related to your club. I just want to know a few things from all of you. So let's start with Mohit first. Mohit, who's your best player currently?
Oh, there are so many of them.
Only one. That's why I said
That's
only the
tough.
best player. Sorry,
It's
who?
tough.
Acha, it's tough.
Right now, you mean right now or 2021, the whole year?
In the whole year or current form as well?
On current form, I'd say Reece James, just brilliant, monster. And 2021, I'd go with Jorginho.
All right, Raghav, your best player, United's best player.
There's only two, Cristiano Ronaldo and David De Gea. No, they are the only one who performed this season. So yeah, either of those.
Chinmay, are you going to
Same,
differ
same,
with
same,
that?
same. Same. One is saving games and one is saving games ahead. So
Yeah. Okay. Second question. Again, we'll start from Mohit itself. Currently, the most disappointing player in the team. I mean, it's a tough question again, but the most disappointing player currently.
He hasn't played much, but I'd still say Saul because yeah, some people did. I didn't expect much because but what I expected, I didn't even see that. So yeah,
Yeah.
disaster debut, but it's okay. He's on loan anyway, so who cares?
There are rumors that he may go back in January itself.
Yeah, if he goes, he goes. Good for him. Best of luck.
Raghav, the most disappointing player. I know you will have a big list. I know you will have a big list. I just want the one player.
I think our captain Harry Maguire, he's been so bad the past 2 months. I words can't describe how bad he is.
Chinmay.
Maguire, you look at him for England and he is captain of the club here, and his last Premier League appearance was a red card. So it can't get worse for him right now, missing a trip to the bridge.
Yeah. I think like even Clive said that United fans can name a list of disappointment. And speaking about Harry Maguire, there were memes going around that Chelsea have appealed that he doesn't get suspended for the match.
But
But
what's funny is ever since he signed for Manchester United, he hasn't considered a single goal against Chelsea, which is quite funny by the way.
I mean, if you see
You
Chelsea,
know, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer never lost to Chelsea.
Chelsea, yeah.
So
he hardly
in the
see
Premier League,
even before this season he didn't lose to City. He didn't lose to Liverpool. It was just the draws which were going
Yeah.
around. So in that way, it is good. But
Just to
unfortunately,
just to correct just to correct them, he did lose in the FA Cup
the FA
semi-final.
Cup,
not
yeah,
in
the
the
only
league,
the
not in
FA
the
And
league.
Cup.
Yeah.
and that comment right there,
I
what
was going to
Anthony
come
Taylor,
to
yeah,
it. That
that's
is
the
why I put it on screen. The
yeah.
Anthony Taylor against Chelsea, I want to say, not even against United. I want to say against Chelsea. I mean, Mohit, if you want to just rant about this, I'll let you.
Words cannot describe Anthony Taylor. It's not enough. He's gone like more than 20 plus. You can have a legitimate list of 20 plus decisions he's made against Chelsea Football Club. From yellow cards to red cards to penalties to throw-ins to everything he has given against us. This guy just each and every game, apart from that Newcastle game he just recently managed, every game. You remember it all started from the United game in 2020 February, when Maguire scored that 2-0, when Maguire kicked Batshuayi in the ball straight up. He saw it and he didn't give a red card for that. VR saw it, didn't give a red card. I mean, that game was a disgrace, the way Man United won that game, because it was close, borderline rigged,
And it
almost.
was the same,
That's
I
how it
think it
was.
was the same game or the game in the same season where he literally choke slammed Aspi. I think it was the same game,
That
I
was
think.
last season.
Or,
Yeah, that was next. That was next
but
season. Maguire, Stockland,
exactly.
yeah, and the next season. Again, didn't get
Yeah.
anything. Then you have the Kovacic red card in the FA Cup final. You have the Reece James red card recently. I mean, I don't remember now because there's so many decisions this guy has given against us, and our record whenever he is refereeing is just not good. So yeah, Manchester United should be the favorite in my opinion for this game just because of that reason.
Do you think, Raghav, that you are the favorites for this?
If we played the way we played in second half against Villarreal, and I think yeah we can win the game. But we need to play like the way we played when Bruno came on for Donny against Villarreal. But it's difficult. Probably Jadon Sancho is gonna play a big part if we're gonna win against Chelsea
Yeah.
because there is no Chilwell, Marcus Alonso's bad. No, there is no N'Golo Kante too. So yeah, I think we can win the game. Yeah.
Chinmay?
I think we can. I think he's just mentioned all the key players. Sancho, you've got who's got quite the sauce. Ronaldo always loves a big game. We know how in a away crowd, if the Chelsea fans start booing, the game is at the bridge, right? So if they do start booing Ronaldo, and if he does probably get up with it, he can probably go on and have a very big part. I just hope De Gea has a good game because he has Bailly and Lindelof in front of him. For all I know, so I just hope he plays a very good game on Sunday.
I I have noticed over there, yeah, especially this season as well, when he's like the saves he makes are magnificent, but the goals he lets in, like they are disappointments, which could have been saved easily. For example, the Watford game, he saved United numerous times, but the goals he let in from the near post itself, I think, that's one thing where De Gea should be really careful, especially with the number of chances Chelsea create. I mean, one is about to go in because of that. So let's see what happens. I mean, it's a big clash. Both teams title contender start of the season. Chelsea living up to the expectation currently. United, who knows, with the new managers coming in, anything might happen.
I mean,
But
you have to notice that this is Carrick's last game as a manager
yeah,
of United. So he might want to go out with a bang. He might actually surprise all of us and put out a team which nobody is expecting, because he actually has nothing to lose. And he had, the first half was a mess against Villarreal, but the second half again, he did show that he can come up with nice substitutions, something which Ole was lacking in during his tenure. A lot of people said that he wasn't making subs at the right time. Carrick showed that he could. So I think this being his last game, everybody knows that Monday morning Mr. Ragnick is coming in. Carrick might want to go out with a bang.
but do you think that, see, Carrick was there with Ole, he was in his staff, he was the assistant, and why didn't that happen before that? If Carrick is capable of doing that, why didn't that happen with Ole?
I think it again, it comes down to who is making the decisions. I think if everybody has seen the Athletic news today morning, it has literally been written that the club were looking for a more tactically important, or I'm not able to locate the right word they said. So literally they literally said that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is incapable of having tactics. That was basically what was meant. They wanted someone opposite to Ole, was what the article said. So if you have a look at something like that, you're questioning his tactics, you're questioning his staff, but then you have a person in his staff managing everybody apart from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is on the bench this Sunday, right? Peeler's there. You've got Fletcher's there. Fletcher took out his club suit and was managing alongside Carrick. So I don't know, something has changed probably. Maybe it's down to who's making the decisions now. But I just hope last game. I hope that they can go ahead and do something well at the bridge.
Yeah, and I just think that this is sort of something what Chelsea did. I mean, I think honestly saying, Ole did the job he was brought in for. The club's morale or the dressing room environment was in shambles when Mourinho left. He came in, another legend of the club, steadied the ship, took them to some certain level, became stagnant, and I think a manager like Ralph Ragnick, at least in the short term, could deliver a trophy. Like how
And
even
he's come for 2 years more, right? I mean, that's his contract. His
exactly
contract
as a
is,
consultant.
yeah. So that tells you, and they're saying that he might be the first ever sporting director this club has had. So wow, if he's
Exactly,
able, you can see what he's
and
done
now
with
that
Leipzig.
capability, I think
Yeah.
that's going to be a very good
I
thing.
mean,
I mean, you see, more, yeah,
sorry to say this, but your manager is a manager because of Ralph Ragnick. So
we.
you should probably
I
you should
think
gift
I
us a
made that
match.
very clear. I think I
Gift
made
us
that
a
very
match.
clear in the start of the show. I know about that. Everyone
You
knows
should
about
gift
that.
us a match. You should gift us a
Tuchel,
match.
Tuchel. Only if he was there on the bench. Only if he was there. But you heard Klopp. Like even Klopp just said that Ragnick coming in, we know the kind of manager he is. He's like a mentor for every manager coming in from Germany. But Klopp just thinks that obviously relationships aside, matches are more important, and the matches come each day almost right now. Every 3 4 days a team is playing, he doesn't have time to settle. So let's see how it goes. But I think it's the same picture what Chelsea went through. Lampard, another legend of the club, came in at the right time when the transfer ban was on. no signings, worked with the academy before that, came over here, got in Jody Morris, who obviously worked with Mount, everyone, and now Tuchel, obviously being a better tactician, reaping the benefits of that as well. More, do you want to disagree, or is that what, or just my opinion?
No, I completely agree. In fact, Frank Lampard, what the job he did was unbelievable. Like getting that team top four, bunch of kids, like that is some job what he did, and then he just couldn't keep it up with the new signings and all the pressure that comes up with it. He's also a young manager. End of the day,
Yeah,
just couldn't. And I don't know, we all cried when Lampard got sacked because we all love Lampard. Yeah? Lampard को देख के बड़े हुए. So uh,
yeah.
that was a sad day actually. I was happy, but then what Tuchel did, you know.
So
So
when there are rumors of Lampard getting sacked, so like every Chelsea fan was like, we cannot get attached to the manager at any time. If you're a Chelsea
yeah,
fan, you cannot do
I,
that
I,
at all, whether it's Mourinho or it's Conte, whether it's Lampard. But now Tuchel coming in, it just very, very
yeah, it's so
hard not to
difficult,
get
man, to get
attached.
I
You
think
attached to
I
cannot
this
get
think
man,
attached.
man.
I think in England, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, but this is a very personal opinion. I feel looking at Ole Gunnar Solskjaer during the last 2 or 3 months, the abuse he's been getting, looking at how Chelsea got under Lampard, I feel at least in England, if you are an ex legend of the club, not a player, okay, I'm saying a legend of the club. I feel you shouldn't go manage the club because as soon as the results go haywire, the fans stop respecting you. And I have to say, I'm speaking as a United fan now. I have seen fans going after Ole as a person, going after Ole, they don't care about the legend status. They keep on saying, oh, all you did was score one tap in Barcelona. I mean, that tap in did win us the Champions League. You've been calling him a legend for 20 years, and just because, he's losing to Watford now, and, I think also the fact that you see Bruno Fernandes' reaction after, the game in Watford, when he
Yeah,
was telling that it is our fault, it is a collective fault, you cannot blame him. Yeah, I just feel you can't keep on blaming the same man again and again if and then question his legendary status you know just because he's not able to get it right now, because as Vineet said, for the last 2 years, I'm saying this as a United fan again, everybody, this is the most excited we have been since Sir Alex Ferguson. With Mourinho, I'm telling you, I'm a Mourinho fan all throughout, but I was, more than excitement, I thought we're getting a winner here because Mourinho is a winner. Cool. But if you talk about excitement, if you talk about staying up and watching United attack, United, sign big players, players wanted to come to you. You do know Varane did want to come to us, right? Varane rejected Real Madrid and came to us. Tells you what? Yeah, because it was excitement. He got all of us United fans excited. I know I'm getting a little because it has been a long time since I came on the show. So Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I really love Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I love the way he was. He really brought us back. 2018, the end of 2018 was very very bad when Mourinho left. And wow, if I could go back to a time, I would go back to interim Ole time and live PSG away once again because those were the memories. Those were the memories he gave us. You can't abuse him for the Watford result or for the Liverpool result. Liverpool result, I saw him at halftime. Yeah, he knew. Some part of him knew that he can't do it. If you've seen the farewell interview, he, he he was really
Right.
emotional, and people started abusing him for that. People started saying, "Oh, have a look at this. Who asked for a farewell interview?" That's because he loves the fans. He loves United through and through. I just, I hate the fact that people have started abusing him, and I don't support this kind of booking.
Yeah.
I really don't support this kind of
Raghav, you want to say something on that?
Yeah, I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as the manager. We have This is the excited time I've been as a United fan since Sir Alex left, and even in this last game, I think the against Atalanta, last minute winners. Under Oli, we have scored loads and loads of goals. The likes of Mason Greenwood, Marcus Rashford just going another level. I think that he's been way too disrespected. Like this Witcher team by journalists, especially by English journalists. They just like to make up some stories and ask him stupid questions. hope he gets another great job and he does well in another job. Yeah.
So we know the hostility England has in football. We saw it at the Euros. We see it every day in the press conferences. The managers getting ticked off at almost every press conference as well. But I think it's just part and parcel of the job that you're in one of the biggest leagues in the world, and you just have to deal with this. You have to deal with keeping your life aside, and this is like a whole different life. I mean, I'm not sure about the situation in England, like when Chinmay, you mentioned that Ole getting the stick every time they lost, and the way he was disrespected. I don't know if that was a case in Lampard as well, because when I used to see in the matches, even when results are going on, obviously there will always be a few bad apples, as you always call them, who will abuse that manager, who will abuse the players. But the true fans will always back regardless of that. I see still, I see banners of Lampard still going around because he is respected as a player. Maybe he didn't succeed as a
I mean,
manager.
we still sing his name every game at Stamford Bridge. It's just
Exactly.
normal. Frank Lampard is our number one legend. If the virus was not there, if there were crowds in the stadium and we were tenth, no, we would have still sung his name. You saw when Jose Mourinho was 60th and there were banners of Jose Mourinho sign, just don't sack him. That's
Yeah,
Chelsea fans. That's
I
Chelsea
think
fans. At
that's
least match going Chelsea
I
fans.
think
I'm
that's
not
the
talking about the
difference.
fans on Twitter.
You're
Match
completely
going.
right. You're completely right. You're completely right, and I think that's the difference between United and Chelsea. I think I have to say, I'm talking about my own club here now, but I have to say that United fans took it to a completely different level. Every single day on Twitter, I was reading every single match, every single minute. Ole out, Ole out, Ole out, Ole out. And then they're not talking about him. They're talking about him as a person, talking about his family. They're saying he's staying because he wants the money, the sacking bonus. I don't think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer needs the sacking bonus. He loves the club enough. So I was very sad to see, how it ended, and to see
Sometimes fans get so carried away, they don't get the difference between a
a
manager, a
person.
player, or a person. We saw Harry Maguire. You can troll him as a player if you want, but you cannot personally attack him. At the end of the day, they are playing at a level we could never imagine, and we are watching them on that level, and they are giving us that ounce of satisfaction over the weekends, that okay, now my team is playing. So we have to just as fans get the difference out, that as a person can be different on the pitch, off the pitch, and that is how we need to there are like Chinmay, like obviously we have had this discussion so many times. We spoke about Ronaldo, his off the pitch things, his controversies, what are there?
And again, I'm just talking about Ronaldo. Okay, I'm talking about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer now, and again now I'm gonna mention one more name, Cristiano Ronaldo. Everything in the world, everything in the world that is happening, yeah. If something's going wrong, it's because of Ronaldo. If Maguire isn't playing well, it's Ronaldo. If Shaw's not playing well, Ronaldo. Why? Because Ronaldo's not pressing. And as soon as Ragnick was rumored to come in, everybody was saying the same thing. Oh, but
Ronaldo
that
not
means Ronaldo's not going to press. That's the end of Ronaldo. Ronaldo's going to get another manager sack. How many times have me and you seen the same meme of Ronaldo getting his manager sacked in the last 5 seasons? I don't think Ronaldo calls up the president and says, get him sacked. I don't think that's the case here. And I think if you have a look at his goal scoring records, I'm sorry to say this, I love Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, but if not for Ronaldo's goals, Ole might have gone earlier.
Yeah.
He's been saving United a lot this season. 2-2, he's scoring both the goals. 2-1, 3-2 wins. He's the reason we're in the knockout stages of the Champions League. He is the
And this
reason.
was always the situation even in last season. When Ole's line was on the job, somehow United used to turn into prime United. Bruno Fernandes used to always somehow put in like 10 on 10 performances. And this season, when he's not playing well, obviously he's getting the stick for it that he cannot score without penalties. Maybe it's true, but who knows like what is going on. And the same
he
with
still has
Ronaldo. That
scored more goals than Lukaku.
अरे Lukaku उतना नहीं खेला है. Lukaku
It's okay.
hasn't
No,
played
no.
as much. But
They
regardless of
no.
that, it's
But
not only
exactly.
about
I mean,
Lukaku or
you
Bruno,
can't
but
keep on disrespecting someone like that. And
uh,
I don't see this agenda, man. I really don't like this agenda. If something's going wrong in your house, you're gonna say, no, this is because Ronaldo's not pressing. I don't see this agenda.
It
And
comes with Ronaldo. It just comes with you when you sign Ronaldo. You
but
have to
then
take all
no,
this
but
in.
then
It comes
no,
with
but then
signing him.
no. I agree,
Free
Mohit.
package.
I agree, Mohit. But then when Ronaldo scores a 92nd minute winner, you can't say, "Oh, shoo, what a goal and clutch." You can't say that.
But
You
I
don't need to
just
be double
I
standard.
just feel that it's the whole, the personality gets him. Like the same way Maguire gets more stick than any other centre back in the world is because he's an 80 million player. Sancho is getting a stick regardless of his age because he's been paid like his transfer fee was 75 million. And same for Lukaku. If Lukaku comes out of injury saying that he doesn't score more than 10, 15 goals, Lukaku will get the stick. Why? Because he's a 90 million player. And I think that just comes, that's one of the drawbacks of being a good player. You see Messi getting the stick in Paris right now. Why? Because he's not playing well. They again lost to City. Sergio Ramos hasn't played a game because he was injured, still getting the stick that he might be released, he doesn't deserve to be at the club, blah blah blah, and everything. So I just feel maybe it's just part and parcel, and we may have to just draw a line somewhere, but also deal with it as it goes on, and we know it's going to happen again and again.
Yep,
So let's
nothing
see
you
how
can
it
do
goes.
about it.
Yeah, like Chelsea have been getting stakes because Roman Abramovich came in, Chelsea bought success, City bought success, but it just happens. I think that's one way of people getting back to something. Like if United was winning right now, we would say, oh, because they signed Ronaldo, they spent 200 million, they were obvious to win something like that. So it's like always going
Yep,
to be
exactly.
You look at
something
City.
or the
You
other.
look at City. You look at City. City wins the Premier League. Everybody says oil money, and City doesn't.
No one sees the beautiful football they play. Like even
And
if you're
City
not a fan,
loses,
you appreciate.
and City loses. You say, ah, ha, ha, they had oil money, couldn't win. That's called football. Football is saved. Hurry. I don't understand this, thing. And I have to, yeah, agreeing with you, Vineet. I think City versus PSG was one of the best games I've seen this year. The game which just
Yeah,
happened day before. One of the best games I've seen. It was, total football, all throughout. I could, a non-football fan could say that these two are one of the best in Europe right now. So,
we are getting many comments for Chinmay that you're back from hiding, you're back from exile. I mean, it's been a long time. But anyway, so now that we are close to the end of the episode, I'll be taking up predictions. And but before we move on to the predictions, Raghav, if there was one thing you hate about Chelsea and you are actually scared about in this match as well, what is that one thing?
One thing why I'm scared about Chelsea is Reece James. That guy just can't stop scoring right now, and he's
Rashford,
assisting.
Rashford, Rashford,
Yeah.
Rashford.
Rashford is gonna save. I have all my hopes is pinned on Rashford and Sancho. So the one thing that I really hate about Chelsea is probably they're better. They have better backbone as a football club. Their internal structures. We are in 2021, and Ralph Ragnick is going to be our first football director. They've got one of the best in the world in Marina Granovskaya, if I'm not wrong. So yeah, even the likes of Chelsea, Manchester City, Liverpool, they've got the backroom staff, the director of football, their scouting network. It's all top class. Man United hasn't got any, and thanks to Oli, we had someone like Darren Fletcher and John Motto. If not for Oli, I don't think we would have even signed someone like Ragnick now.
Yeah. Chinmay, if there were the same question for you actually.
Anthony Taylor having a good game. I'm just scared. I'm
You're
scared
scared
of
of,
that.
oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah. If he has a good game, I'm scared. I hope he has the most Anthony Taylor kind of game against Chelsea, and we are walking away with 3 points. I'm not even joking.
All right. Mohit, one thing you hate about United and you're scared of genuinely.
I hate about United as a club, the delusional fan base. That's what I. It is what it is. And what I'm scared of, obviously, when Cristiano Ronaldo plays against you, you're scared of him. It's Cristiano Ronaldo. He can score anytime. No matter how good our defense is, no matter how good Mendy is in goal, Ronaldo can score. I know nobody has ever scored 2 goals against Chelsea this season in a game. Hardly anyone has scored against Chelsea this season.
But if it
But
is
if
going to be
anyone can,
someone, I think it can be only Ronaldo.
Ronaldo, okay, he's one of the best in the world. So when he's playing, you got to be scared of him.
Yeah. I mean, I agree part with what you said, the first part, why you actually hate United. I just want to say that I don't hate United, but the only reason I hate United is their fans. I mean, not, general fans, just few specific fans, who hype up everything, every single thing. And I think that is
I
the
agree,
story of
sure.
every club. But I just find it on Twitter a lot. And Chinmay, I think in the WhatsApp group as well, we have seen so many things going on. So that's the issue I have with United. But genuinely, I'm scared of Ronaldo, man. And just United turning up because they in big games, United always turn up, especially when they have Ronaldo and this guy Bruno, and genuinely something to be
I
scared of.
think when United are at their worst, or when everybody thinks United are at the worst, United turn up. And I think
Exactly,
that's the
that's
best
my
thing, and
point.
that's the best thing about United. If you have a look at the Liverpool game, I'm not going to lie. Um, I actually thought that there might be a chance because we have you know Ronaldo, we have Bruno. Say something like the Spurs game after the Liverpool game 5-0. The Spurs game, nobody had hopes. Everybody knew they knew for a fact that they're going to lose to Spurs, and United come out with a 3-0 victory. So they actually do only turn up whenever they're down and out. And right now, everybody is saying United no game plan, Carrick tactics, Ole vibes. Let's hope we can turn up at the bridge.
And that's actually one thing I'm scared as a Chelsea fan because in the so many years I've followed Chelsea, I've always seen that when Chelsea is at their best, all of a sudden the unexpected result will pop out at the most unexpected times. You see West Brom result last season as well. You don't expect that, especially when Chelsea were in the kind of form they were. Like a glitch will
Yeah.
always come up with a Chelsea game.
But the main question arises: are Manchester United desperate of points? Are you desperate for points? If you are, Chelsea will give it to you. As for Chelsea, yeah, Robin Hood FC since the last
I
three
mean,
years. So
there are
if
players
you
who have never
desperately need
scored.
points,
There are players who have never scored. Chelsea has gone to
yeah,
concede 2, 3 goals against them.
yeah,
And
anyone with a duck or something like that in your team is probably going to score. Put your money on it.
Fred would score, I guess.
honestly, I can't rule that out. I mean, to be the most Chelsea thing to happen, where Fred scores a screamer, and that's the only thing I expect from the game. But obviously, now onto the predictions. I mean, I'm pretty sure everyone is optimistic over here with their results. So Chinmay raising and Chinmay first. I want to
Not
go first.
raising, not raising. I'm saying I don't
I
want
just saw
to.
the raise that you're
No,
going
no,
first.
no.
Anyway, just a win or a draw. That's also fine. I'm not saying
Win,
sorry, lose, win,
win, win,
loss, draw,
win,
whatever.
win. United.
All the
Let's hope. Win United. I hope.
Raghav with the
2-1.
scoreline as well.
2-1 United, I guess.
2-1 United. Do you want to bet on whole score?
I think Sancho might score. Ronaldo, yeah. Sancho,
Okay.
Ronaldo.
Luckily, you didn't. For a moment I heard 4-1 for United, so I got slightly scared that you were
4-1.
so confident. Mohit, your predictions for the game.
But, I mean, if everything goes per plan, I mean, like Anthony Taylor officiates the game as a normal referee, and just everything how mathematically and physically how everything should happen. If that happens, we should win 2-0. Keep a clean sheet, normal standard Chelsea stuff. As long as everything should happen, everything follows the rules. That's it.
Yeah, Cliver thinks he being a United fan, still Chelsea will win 3-0. I hope the same. I don't know if it will be 3-0 or what. I just hope for Chelsea win because not only Anthony Taylor, I have spoken so many times even on the show that the referees in England are not up to the mark. You don't see only Anthony Taylor, even the other referees. So many disappointing decisions constantly, and I just think Anthony Taylor right now is going to get the stick of it if anything goes wrong. I mean, I think that's it's already the last straw has been picked as a Chelsea fan. Like when against Liverpool, also he was picked. I was ready for a loss. I was literally ready for a loss when he was there. And when just before the red card, I just said when he didn't give a yellow, it's going to be a red card soon for Chelsea. And Reece James turned out to be the guy. But let's hope for a good game. No controversies, just some two good teams going head to head after a change in regime for United, at least temporarily. So let's hope what happens and hope for Chelsea win.
Yeah, and if you are staying based in Thane or anywhere near Thane, suburban Mumbai, make sure you join us in the screening. We have a screening from Chelsea Thane Blues in Thane. For more details, just check out Chelsea Thane's Instagram or Twitter. You will find the post and join us there. We'll watch the game.
We have
Manchester United
already
fans,
tagged
Chelsea
them.
fans,
We have already tagged Chelsea
all of
Thane
that.
Blues. We are tagged in the stories as well. Do visit their page. If you're based in and around Thane, you can obviously join Mohit and others. I mean, I want to thank Chelsea Thane Blues for, you know, getting Mohit over here and so brilliant. So thank you for everyone tuning in. Thank you for Raghav, obviously being an amazing panelist. Mohit Chinmay back again. So thank you all for coming in for almost an hour we have spent over here talking. But have a good night. Take care.
Thank you. Yeah. Bye.